You have to shag one of these. The Rat King from The Last of Us 2. Marguerite Baker from Resident Evil 7. Or the Pain from Metal Gear Solid 3. Now, for Spencer and for the audience who do not know who the Pain is, he's a normal looking guy. Except he's covered in bees. So your choice: Rat King, Marguerite, man covered in bees with bee powers. What are you going for? I want to hear your option. You have to shag them as well. Spence, let's kick it over to you first.
Sure, okay, so I'm not familiar with the Pain. So I am looking at him now, and there's two options to look as well. You can see him with his mask on. He's got a nice little balaclava. Nice. Mm-hmm. And then you take it off, and he looks like Deadpool. Like a testicle with teeth.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Yeah, he does not look good. No. So we'd keep that mask on. If I was to go for Pain, that mask stays on. Or you hit it from behind. One of those. It's a terrible job, but even then, the back of his head is disgusting too. Keeps the balaclava on. He has to. But would I even go there when, granted, he's probably the most normal out of the three? Bees, man. That'd be so annoying. Horrendously annoying. I hate bees. Granted, they're not wasps. I don't hate them as much as wasps. Bees usually have a purpose for stinging you.
The problem with the Pain is that you just can't have a honey dick. You can't have that kind of dick that makes everyone happy, because those bees are going to be flocking to that. And if you haven't played MGS3, but those bees aren't nice bees. They're savage.
I'm reading, they're not bees, they're hornets.
Oh, bro. That's way worse.
The Pain is out of the equation. He's gone. Hornets up my arse? No, thank you. Jesus Christ. I think there's only one answer for this. And it's just because it's the only female on the table. And that's got to be Marguerite. Even if you're covered in bugs and she's all disgusting, the morphed skeletal spider lady, there's still a vagina there. Even if it's mank, smelly, dead cockroaches inside of it, it's still there. And if you close your eyes, can you really tell? And hold your nose. You might need to do this full thing and just, I go like that. But the sensation, if anything, if there's some bugs up there, it makes it a bit tighter.
Oh my god, bro. Do you remember what it looks like when she's crawling around with that bug pussy? You're basically chucking it into just a nest of bugs. You're just putting your cock in that. And, savage. I mean, Phil, have you got any thoughts on Spencer's pick here with Marguerite?
I can see what he's saying, because she is the only female out of the lineup. So there is possibly some pleasure to be had there. But ultimately, you've got two disgusting kind of evil monstrosities here that main powers sort of relate a lot to sort of insects. And I'm not a big fan of insects. I think one of my worst fears would to be on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of There, and be in one of those tubes where they fill it with maggots and bees and flies and I don't know, all the other things, the mealworms and all that jazz. So I could imagine those two characters being very similar to being in one of those tubes with all those insects. I just couldn't do it personally.
Yeah, the big question I got for you, Spence, is, so you've chosen Marguerite. How are you going to romance her into bed? What's the tactic?
I think she just appreciate someone being there for her. So many times, right? When she says, get out, I'll be like, sure, okay, if that's what you really want. But how about a nice candlelit dinner? You've been eating bloody organs and bugs and muck for ages. How about a steak? Sure, you'd love a steak. The bugs would love a steak. Think of it. You can bring the bugs. They'll enjoy it too. And then once the bugs are eaten, you get in the disabled toilets, you bash out a quickie. And that's the way it goes. And she loves it.
She's filthy. And you've seen she fits into all kinds of spaces. She comes down through the down the bloody chute like Father Christmas. So she can squidge into all kinds of places. So she could probably get some freaky ass shit.
Yeah, she's flexible too, man. Flexible. She kind of extends her limbs and breaks them and stuff, but she's flexible. She could spread it.
She could be on top of the ceiling and like carry you up there, and you're shagging her on top of the ceiling. I mean, you got some options with Marguerite. even if I think personally she's the scariest out of all three of these. But fair play. Fair play to you, Spence. I appreciate that. I think that would work. Being nice, the nice, tender approach. Maybe she doesn't get that from Jack, and you're that man on the side, that younger model. She gets that upgrade. And you get to smash some bugs. Phil, what are you thinking out of these three horrors?
Well, Davey, I'm glad you asked. You've been bigging this question up all day, and I was expecting something that you put a lot of time, research. It was one of those very moral questions about how to change the world, possibly. But no, you've picked three horrific encounters here for us to pick and have sex with. Well, if you'll allow me, I'm going to just change my headphones because I've got a certain item of clothing which I need to put on to be able to combat this question effectively. Here we go. Ready?
Let's do it.
Right. I feel like I'm ready to answer this question. I didn't want any kind of those mind beams that you've been shooting out affecting my cranium, Davey. It's very much, the Magneto, Professor X kind of dance that we do on most podcasts. So I thought this would protect me during this question.
Oh, there's the thumbnail.
It's great, isn't it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
I've had it for a week. I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking of how would I introduce it into the show? What's the most funny? Thought this was brilliant. Just bring it in the question. So, yep, this is
Love
me
it.
for the rest of the show. No, I'm definitely not going to wear it for the whole show, but I thought it's
please
effective
do.
for the question.
Oh. It makes me think Magneto's got a big old head, doesn't he?
Big old head. Well,
Does.
it's super protective, mate. Look at this all the way around. There's no
I'm
mind
trying
beams
to
getting in there, is there?
I'm trying to invade his mind right now, and it's not working. I'm giving him
working,
the dodgy eyebrows, and nothing's getting through. Literally nothing. And let me read your mind. It's
You
not
don't know
working.
what I'm thinking right now. I could be thinking anything. I could be thinking a threesome with all three of them. But I'm not. I'm definitely not. And as I mentioned, I hate bugs, so that knocks out two of them straight away. So I'm going to have to pick the Rat King, unfortunately. And the way I'm thinking about this is that, say you're on a stag do, and you're away in Prague, and you're there with a bunch of lads that, you would class as your friends. And they've sat you down in maybe a bar, maybe a zombie bar, and you've had a row of like 10 Jägermeisters, one after another. But then you go one step further, you have 11, and you go back to your friends, and in comes the Rat King, and sits on your lap, and gyrates all over you. I think they call it a grossogram, don't they? So I could see that. I'm expecting these offerings that you've given us to be into it, right? They're going to be coming for you, not as they do in the game. They're not going to be trying to hurt you. They're going to be trying to pleasure you. The Rat King has about 8 arms. My God, imagine, he could touch everything at once for you. Your missus got 2 arms. There's 8 arms there. You're going to be in next level pleasure, boys. I'm going for the Rat King.
It's wild, because it's easily the most grotesque out of all of them. You got so many options, so many mouths, so many hands. I think some of those could be female, some of those bodies that are attached there. You're only half gay, if anything. You're bi at that point. You're not going full gay.
Just seeing what's out there, just exploring. You're still young. Why not? We've all tried things.
Yeah, maybe you only shag the women ones that are part of it. So half of them are just quite lonely. They're a bit sad. Oh, can we pick up a girl next time? And the Rat King's like, no, it's fair lonely. And you're like, oh, okay.
Well, there's got to be a bit on maybe the left-hand side that no one gives any pleasure to. So potentially that's where I go in, rather than just going full frontal, where it's got like 3 or 4 faces. I'm expecting, backing onto me, grossogram style, give me a bit of butt shake. There's going to be more than one bum there. Why not? You're getting it all in your face. It's so close, you can't really see. You're already pissed up. You've had 11 Jaeger bombs. Everyone's egging you on. Why not? Rat King it is for me.
Fucking hell, savage. Absolute savage. Spence, you got any thoughts on that absolute wild take?
I think it's easily the worst choice out of the 3, But I do think Phil makes some good arguments for it with the multiple arms, multiple orifices, several mouths, and a lot of them are missing teeth as well, so there's no risk of biting. Lovely. I think it's actually a good shout. Not what I'd go for. Definitely not what I'd go for.
Well, I think for me, my original thought on this, I was thinking I might go for a Rat King as well. I was thinking you just got so much options. You got infinite nights. You could spend multiple nights. We were talking before about you pick up like some absolute bottom of the sea monster, and they give you like the best head you've ever had in your life. The Rat King is just wild, I think, because if it's into it, and you can look past its ugly exterior, it might have a heart of gold. And that might be what it does. It runs fast. It might be good to go down the gym with. It can spot you. It can lift weights at the same time. It can do everything. Cook you a sandwich and jack you off. All at the same time. I mean, what more do you want? It's like a perfect partner. But I think I'm going to give some shine onto the Pain. I think. The Pain, sure. Keep the mask on, mate. Keep the mask on. Because you just look way better. He flies about. He can fly. He can take me like on a magic carpet ride. But the entire time I'm being stung by hornets. But I can still experience that level of flight. I can still just hang out with him. And if I need honey made, he's ready-made honey machine. And I can just call him Honey as well, his little pet name. Hey, honey, time to give you some sugar. And then unzip it. And then you just got a million bees just all over your cock. There's no way I can save the Pain. There's no. I reckon he's probably the worst. He's the worst. I'm going to try and justify it. I think the way I'd win him over is I'd probably bring like a smoke machine. Because bees hate smoke, don't they? Hornets hate smoke. And I bet after a while he's probably sick of having hornets constantly on him. Sure, it's his power, and it makes him a good agent in the field, but you want a day off every now and again. That's when I come in with the smoke. And I can always wear one of those bee suits that protect you. And all it's got like a glory hole just for your knob. So your knob could just poke out and I could do the dirty. And I think he'd appreciate that. The smoke and the bee suit would be my option here to be able to have a great night with the Pain.
I think there's something to that there, Davey, and it reminds me of a story that used to circulate the schools when I was growing up. And there was this rumour that if you pulled off the wings of a fly, and when you're in the bath, you put him on the tip of your cock. So the tip of your cock is almost like a little island in the bath. And you pull off the wings of a fly and you pop him on your cock and he runs round. And the feeling of that little fly touching your cock makes you ejaculate. That was the rumour that was going round, right? Now you've got the Pain. He's controlling thousands upon thousands of hornets. They're not there to sting you. They're there to pleasure you. So hello, you don't have to pull off their wings. You can just sit in the bath and enjoy the pleasure. Strap yourself in. Zip, zip, zip.
Jesus Christ, that's a terrifying image. But yes, if you're in that situation, you might as well make the most out of it. And do I want my cock looking like a bat made of bees? Sure. Why not? Let's give it a go. If I got no chance of being stung, right? Let's try. I'm an open-minded person. And if the Pain's into it, hey, I'm a good partner. I'll give it a go. And if I don't like it after the first time, maybe we just leave the bees at home, mate. And we'll just get down some good old-fashioned beer back. But that's that's my choice. Audience, I would love to know what you think about this. Who would you pick? The Rat King, Marguerite Baker, or the Pain? Let us know right into the email or reach out to us on our socials.